Today on The Ross Show with Rick and Taylor.
A lot of questions about this whole Tom Sandoval, Ariana thing. Is it naive or stupid?
The new rumor floating around that Raquel, as the show gets ready to drop, The Real Housewives of Orange County. What are you nervous about? How is your relationship with Heather Dubrow right now? Can you feel them filming as you start to feel a little more loose with the drinking?
It's a little right and a lot wrong. The Ross Show with Rick Walker and Taylor Armstrong. Now, here's Rick and Taylor.
Hello, Rick. How are you today?
Hello, Taylor.
A lot of questions about this whole Tom Sandoval, Ariana thing. So you and I are both married, and they were together for 10 years.
Right.
And how do you have an affair for 7 months without the person that you live with not having a clue?
I mean, there would be some kind of clue. You would, right? You would know. I would know.
But also, okay, there's two people that I talk to consistently, my best friend and my husband. Well, my child, obviously. But so my best friend and my husband. If I can't get a hold of either one of them for 7 months at the same time, I'm or were they taking the calls in the room together and being like, oh, it's her. Okay, you be quiet. I'm here. You're there. And that seems like so much work to me. It seems exhausting to have to hide all of that.
Wouldn't you just break up?
The amount of work it would take to be sneaking around behind your best friend's back. And I don't know. There's a lot of head scratching going on. And none of the other cast knew.
Yeah.
So are they not friends? Did Tom not confide in any guy friend? You would think Tom would need to talk to somebody about the fact that he was in the midst of this whole shell game, or one of the other girls would have talked to somebody about it, and it would have come up before cameras were already down.
Well, apparently Tom, the other Tom, kind of knew about it, and they're kind of cloudy on when. Oh, I heard in August. No, it was January, and so they went back and forth about that. But the rumor is on the third installment of the reunion, which is next week, that it's going to come to light that Sheena knew that she had been talking to someone, maybe Raquel, about it, and didn't tell Ariana. So that'll be unbelievable. And then there's a new rumor floating around that Raquel, Lala can't stand. They're just like this. Raquel hooked up with Lala's ex too. That
nice.
The movie guy. I forget what his name is now. Whatever.
I can't wait to watch. Okay, but here's the great news for OC. We're premiering the same night that the third installment of the reunion happens. So we're gonna look like puppies and kittens in episode 1 compared to these crazies.
Now we've been talking prior to the podcast and since the last one. You're getting nervous. How are you feeling about the launch coming up? Because I remember from Beverly Hills, you were like, oh no, I shouldn't have. After all the fun wears off of hey, I'm just going to say all this and do all this stuff. And then
exactly.
Editing comes around and you're oh no, what have I done? Are you that way now?
Yes, 100%. And especially, we filmed a long time ago, so I don't necessarily remember everything that happened, and that's a little nerve-wracking because I can be a little crazy sometimes. So I'm just hoping that the cray Tay might have not exposed too much this season, but in all likelihood, I'm gonna be in trouble again.
Do you think you'll get a week or two to ramp into it? They're not going to come out strong with some stuff that you've done. Probably they got to get some of the OG girls game going first.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah, I think I'm going to get a couple weeks reprieve, but who knows? After that, it's up in the air. So hopefully
I'm wondering.
I'll be here to recap it with you every week, so I can tell my side of the story.
Good. I think in the 2-week ramp up, should you be looking for an Airbnb or some kind of Verbo situation?
If you're going to sign up for a reality show, you have to expose yourself. And people who try to do the whole manipulating the story or hiding from reality, that's the stuff that I feel comes out on the reunion. So I'm just okay, balls to the wall. Here's what it is, and I'm going to have to pay the consequences for it, but I'm not going to get blindsided.
For those that don't know, ironically, Taylor's New York Times bestseller is called Hiding from Reality. And now it's kind of funny.
I was trying. I
Yeah.
was trying.
Yeah. So what is it that you're nervous about as the show gets ready to drop? The Real Housewives of Orange County. What are you nervous about? That you can
Well,
recall that you did? Or can you say even?
um, well, I had some not so glowing moments, but that's the bigger problem is the days are long and the bar is always open. So you don't
Taylor,
know.
I believe first of all, for people who are tuning in to this podcast for the first time, going, "Who's the guy with the glasses talking to Taylor?" So we've been friends for decades, lifelong friends since Taylor was in college, way back in Oklahoma, and we've always been friends and have known each other. We're bro and sis, but
Totally.
we had a discussion prior to Orange County, actually prior to the Ultimate Girls trip, about on camera with you. So no,
I was really good though, except for maybe a couple times.
on Ultimate Girls trip, I thought pretty good. And you're
Yeah,
feeling like Orange County, maybe you like you hit the sauce a little heavy.
maybe a couple times.
No,
Not like
really.
the old
No,
days.
like really, like every time or just a couple do you really
No.
mean a couple of times? No, I'm for real.
Yeah, a few. No, maybe a few times.
How much of
You
that
know.
can you feel them filming as you start to like feel a little more loose with the drinking? I mean, I was just wondering because I've never had it. I'm
Mm,
opposite of that. I don't drink.
I
And
know. I
I'm just
know.
wondering, like, you could feel it coming on, getting a little more liquid courage, but then are you like, there's the camera right over there. I can, or how does that feel?
Well, I think that's one reason that I've just been an open book. Pardon the book pun again, but because I, if you're not going to be yourself, then what's the point?
Yeah.
I say things that I regret, but they're things I would have said. So I just believe in putting it out there and taking your consequences or your medicine where you will. But um, I mean, faking it, what's the point? Go get a different job.
It seems to me from the trailer that you and Heather Dubrow get into it. There's one clip in particular where she's cussing at you. How dare you? You know, that whole thing, which is a little condescending to me anyway. How dare you? Who says that? Like the Queen of
Right.
England. How dare you, my subjects? Is that who's
How
the
dare
biggest
I?
pot? Can you say who the biggest pot stirrer is this season, or are you allowed to say that?
No, I can't say that. Well, I will say Tamra has come back as spunky, if not spunkier than ever. I'm not saying stirring the pot. She's just super spunky this
Yeah.
season. It's fun to watch.
Um, how is your relationship with Heather Dubrow right now?
I can't say that.
Like
I knew
today?
Heather socially prior to filming, and you're just gonna have to see how it plays out. I can't say. You know that, Rick.
Okay. So if you say how it is now, that'll give some stuff away from the show that you're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. Could be great. Could not be great. You're just gonna have to wait and see. But it's all coming up quite soon. So here comes the. What have I done now?
What do you think about the trailer?
I thought the trailer was fun.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot more that happens than you see in the trailer, a lot more drama. They could have made it way spicier, but I don't think they have to because the show, Andy's happy with the show. And
Good.
if he's happy, we're all happy.
Do you remember the moments now that you've seen the trailer? Do you remember? Had you forgotten about some of those moments that you see?
No, I think I remember all of them. Yeah,
Okay.
I was, yeah, I thought the trailer maybe was going to be a little bit more crazy. So I think
Okay.
that the viewers are going to be excited to see this season.
So I asked that because I'm wondering if that triggers some memories of like, oh God, I just remembered I did this and said that. When you see the trailer, does that bring out some stuff that you remember?
Yeah, I can. Or
Oh.
okay, I remember that scene, but then what happened after?
And you don't remember at this point?
Well, I just can't remember like how everything played out. When we're on those long trips together, the days are long. We're up early and then we go to bed late, and so there's a lot of fun to be had in between.
Who's on the slip and slide? I can't tell which three girls are doing that. It's not you, I hope. You're not on the slip and slide.
No,
No.
I'm not on the slip and slide.
Who is that?
I wasn't prepared for the slip and slide. It's
It's a good idea.
Tamara.
Hey, never be prepared for the slip and slide so you won't have to do it. Just you want to show up one day. I'm ready.
Well, I had a long white dress on, none of
Okay,
which goes well with water or slip and slides.
good.
So, no, it
Of
was
course, it
Emily,
was
Tamara,
Tamara. Yeah,
Shannon, Emily, Tamara.
of course.
And then if there was a fourth, at one point, I think Heather went down, and I think Jen went down.
What are you most nervous about?
Um, I only get nervous about me, my own behavior, not other people's. I don't know why. I'm just more like, oh God, I'm more, so critical of myself. So that's
Mhm.
always, or not liking what I look like, or just stuff
Right.
about me. The
You know,
stuff about other people, it doesn't faze me as much.
this whole Sandoval thing with Ariana and Raquel too is just I can't. There, I don't think there's something different about that crew and your crew. I feel like you guys are more used to it and you're more seasoned. Y'all are some seasoned bitches. These kids
We are
were
salty.
yeah, but I mean, I feel like you've been through some battles and you maybe have thicker skin. I don't. Yeah, I feel like this Raquel is gonna just. I mean, she went to allegedly went to some mental health facility for a while, and I mean,
But I
Tom
mean,
is
was she not thinking about the ramifications? If you're going to put your best friend and your best friend's boyfriend for 10 years through something like that, and I mean, he's just as guilty in the whole thing, if not more. But at the same time, you don't think that's going to have some repercussions when you're on television? I mean, it's going to have it in real life anyway.
right. Do you? So I that's why I can't wrap my head around it. Like, why? Why then? What? I mean, she had to know. And then they taped an episode once all this news, this breaking news hit. They went back and taped a new season finale, another episode where they show them together and talking about all this stuff. And she seems a little like, well, I'm kind of nervous, but just didn't seem like it was that big of a deal.
Raquel didn't seem
Yeah,
like it was that big a
Raquel.
deal.
Yeah, it's just her. He comes over to the apartment. They're like, "Can you believe all this went down?" And he said
Yeah, you
something.
caused it. What do you mean? Can you believe it all went down? You created it.
Yeah. So, do you think she
That's
knew
ridiculous.
the what this was all going to stir up, or is she just that naive? That's amazing to me. This whole thing.
I find it fascinating as well, because it's either, I don't know, is it naive or stupid?
Lala would say stupid. Katie would say stupid. A lot of the people on there would say stupid. Yeah, I think they've actually used
Yeah.
the S word.
Kind
I
of
mean,
nice word, but
what should we? I'm just what if I got her and ask her a question, what would we ask her? What would we want to know from her? Because something about this, like, how did you not know that this was gonna everyone was gonna find out at some point, right?
yeah. And also, were you really Ariana's best friend? Because you are a pretty horrible friend if that's the case. I don't
Yeah.
know how you, I mean, there's not a man in the world I would hurt my best friend for. And certainly not someone I was doing a television show. I mean, there's just so many reasons why no is the answer. And who
We
was the pursuer? Was it her or him?
That's a good question. I mean, because she was like pretending to make out with the other Tom on the show, and it was like a little bit of a facade to what was really going on. But I feel like we need Dr. Sophie on here to break down what is going on in her head that she could do that. Because a lot of girl code broken, a lot of bro code broken, relationships, everything that you like. I mean, just wouldn't do. Nobody would do that.
I know, I agree. So do you think that Tom and Raquel's relationship will work out after all this, or is there too much blood in the streets? Like, can they go out together? Can they go to dinner together without people just harassing them?
I can't imagine that they can. I feel like it's why it's so clandestine right now, and that he's calling and it's all secretive and everything. But apparently, so there was a rumor for a while that they were broken up, and then there was a rumor that they're back together, and then a rumor that she's pregnant. And then that kind of went
Nice.
away. So I don't know what's got, I mean, you could literally do a whole season, and maybe Bravo's developing this on just that piece of it. Just
Yeah, but
Raquel.
is Ariana ever going to want to be a part of any of that?
No.
I wouldn't think so.
And
But they're like she and Tom are done, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
but they still live in the same house.
What?
You didn't know that? Yeah. So they bought this house together, was part of the big controversy, and they both still live there. And they have a mediator or whatever in the house that kind of gets in the way, and they barely cross paths with each other, but they're both in the same.
What
Isn't that
kind
crazy?
of crazy? Not yes, it's crazy. That is insane. I can't even imagine. I mean, are they just avoiding each other, not even fighting it out? That to me is surprising because I would have some choice words to say, and I wouldn't be able just to have a mediator and walk around each other.
You know what he did though? That
Never.
when they went back and taped that episode, the two of them talked. He walked into the living room, they sat down. She's just like obviously been crying and no makeup, and he starts to explain, Raquel and I just connected on it's like, it's just the last thing she
No,
wants to hear about
a
how his
hundred
relation.
percent. Oh, what is wrong with men, Rick Walker? Can you do some like seminars or something to teach dudes how to act?
Can you
That's
imagine her sitting there
horrible.
and he's explaining how they've connected after 11 years or 10 years together, and he's trying to explain like how they connected and it was something missing, and like, dude, she's not your therapist. You're like hurting her even more. And to the point that she was kind of calm and then she blew up. I don't care what you guys' relationship is like. That's not
Horrible.
yeah.
What did he think she was going to give him sympathy?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Oh, I
understand. Like,
see. I
oh, you
see.
connected. Okay. I'm
That's
about to
great.
connect.
Yeah. That's how she
Uh-uh.
felt. I felt that. So I can
I
imagine.
would feel the same. I mean, that's almost worse than just not talking to her at all.
Right. I agree. He's trying to
Explaining he
explain his
couldn't help it.
relationship with Raquel. I'm just
Her best friend, trying to explain his relationship with her best friend.
who in the episode before she's taking up for her, despite everyone kind of attacking her. We're friends and she's my buddy. She's, you know, and then she takes it for Tom all the time. He's my ride or die. I'm going to stay with him. And she says, I would have supported you. I would have changed for you. I would have done anything for you. I was planning the rest of my life with you. And then this.
Oh, it's
So
I hurt for her.
they're really teasing that some big thing is going to happen in the third one, which they always do, which is great marketing and stuff. But I wonder, when you've been part of reunions and you've seen them tease stuff, are they holding something back for the reunion, or are they just like trying to build some hype into the show?
Well, I think by the time you get to the third, so I always say we film it and like you're pissed off at things that happen, right? Then you watch it and now you're pissed off because you get to watch each other talk behind each other's backs and see what was really happening behind the scenes of your scenes. And then we get together and argue about it again. So by then you're just royally pissed. So as the reunion goes on and people say more things and come at each other, by the time you're at the end of the reunion, everybody's mad and nobody cares. So I think it's maybe not as much by design as just by consequence of people's frustration, and you're exhausted by the time you get to the third reunion. You've been there for hours on end. People are pissed off and tired.
They tape them all in one
So they
day.
typically,
How
I mean, and
long?
from my past experience, I mean, it's a full day.
Like 10, 12? Wow.
Sure. Well, the kids are in hair and makeup too first, so you're there for some while, and they keep us all apart
Ah.
while you're in hair and makeup. Like you don't see your fellow castmates, so
After
things can
the
be.
after that day is over with, is everybody like, I'm done, I'm not coming back, I'm not doing this anymore, or nobody speaks, or what happens after you wrap a reunion?
I think it depends on what your relationships are like. Like Beverly Hills, we would usually go out after. I mean, maybe not. like people that were having huge fights. But yeah, we'd go to the polo lounge or just go. It was kind of like just we need to blow off some steam. We've all been cruel enough at this point, so let's just go try to have some fun together and make a good evening of it.
Do you remember what happened with you and Brandy after that reunion where she went after you about writing a book after your husband's death? Was she part of the, hey, let's all go out, or did you guys go your separate ways for a while?
I'm pretty sure we went our separate ways.
Yeah.
They kind of all blend together, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we didn't hang out after that one.
Yeah. But then you've circled back since then and made out with her. So apparently it's
Yeah. Well, I mean, a little makeup changes everything. She actually said some really nice things about me on a podcast the other day, so I was
Oh,
proud of
wow.
her.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's kind of her hitting on you a little bit, huh? A little bit. She knows you'll get
Listen,
back
I'll,
to you.
I'll I'll take that side any day.
Yeah.
You're
So
such a perv.
the show is coming up, and finally it's been a long time. Everybody's been waiting for this Orange County to drop, and here it goes. It's like just days away now, depending on when people are seeing this, but June 7th, right?
June 7th.
Uh,
That's right.
now, do you watch them as they air, or do you get? I remember on Beverly Hills, you got copies ahead of time. Do you get that ahead of time, or do you just watch it as it airs, or do you even
Yeah,
watch it?
on Ultimate Girls Trip, we did get a link ahead of time, but it is one of those, like the link dissolves the minute you watch it. It's very 007.
Nice.
So, yeah, we just get it a little bit ahead of time. I think so we can be prepared for social media and any press we might be doing.
Have
I have a
you?
little bit of press coming up.
Oh yeah. Have you
So,
seen the first episode, by the way?
no,
Are you going to watch it?
we'll have to wait and see. Yes, of course I'm going to watch.
So you just tune into Bravo like everyone else and watch?
Well, I don't, we might get a little bit, a few days in advance. I don't know.
Well,
That's how it was for Ultimate Girls.
time's running out for the few days in advance. I mean, you're like,
It's true.
will they like, so like the day before or 2 days before, they'll send you a link to check it out?
Yeah, probably. If they do
Yeah.
it like they did Ultimate Girls, that's what I would be expecting. But
Did
yeah, I think everything's
you?
done.
Wow.
So
Hmm.
they keep us hanging like everybody else.
So how are you gonna evade questions with this press you have coming up? And who are you gonna be? Can you tell who you're talking to? Who's gonna be interviewing you and stuff?
No, but I can tell you I'm going to do some interviews with Tamara and Shannon and that we're going to try to make it fun and not give anything away, which is
Yeah,
always the challenge.
what's hard? How do you do that? How do you have you developed some stuff to like talk around? Because there's so much that you know, and you like, wait, was that part of the show? I'm not supposed to. It would get confusing for me. How do you keep that
Yeah.
track of that?
I think we can hint to some of the things that were happening and enough that it intrigues people, but doesn't give away, doesn't ruin it. We don't want to do that. Like say something, then all of a sudden they're like, I don't need to watch. I already know what's
Right.
going to happen. So
When
just to
you're
keep it
sitting
under
in
the est.
when you're sitting in interviews with those two, for example, that you have coming up, do you ever hear them divulge too much and go? Have you ever been in that situation? That would be
Yeah, for
weird.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not with this cast, but in the past I've been with people when in interviews they're not as, media trained or whatever to know how to get around things without spilling the beans a
Who
little bit.
spilled the beans? Who was it in the past? Do you remember like who like, oh gosh, she shouldn't have said that.
I feel like we're pretty good at stopping each other. I think it's more when the season starts airing, actually, and then when you do some press, because now people are starting to get a little hot under the collar. They're like they see something that makes them upset, but they know something that's coming in advance, and they're just kind of like, "You just wait and see," kind of.
Oh,
But
right.
they don't want to say like what the wait. They're not supposed to say what the wait and see is, but it kind of alludes to the fact that something is coming back around.
Right. I know. What I mean, when someone says wait for the surprise ending, it kind of gives away that there's a surprise ending. You're not
Surprise ending.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree.
Okay, let me jump back to Orange County trailer real quick. I know we're jumping all around today and everything, but I wanted to ask you about the scene, the little clip where Heather DeBrowse is yelling at you. How dare you make fun of my career? Which career is she talking about? What career does she have that you were making fun of?
I can't say, Rick Walker.
Does she have a
But
career?
you're just gonna have to watch it play out.
Does she have a career?
She does lots of things.
Like what?
So, well, she has a podcast. She's an actress. Obviously, she's a mom, and yeah,
She has a podcast. I didn't know that. I didn't know. And she's an actress. I didn't know that either. I mean, what is she?
Yes.
What's her podcast about? This?
I think she's just interviewing people.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll bet she's good at that.
So you'll have to wait and see. She has a lot going on.
But yeah, she's in your face though about something. I know. So you must have said something to trigger that. Yeah. Obviously.
Oh, chances are.
Yeah. When you watch the show now, do you want to be left alone? Do you want conversation? Do you want to be drinking? What do you do? What do you want to do?
I think I'd want to watch it now with other people. My life on Beverly Hills, as you well know, was such a mess. It was hard to watch. It was hard to even watch me because I was so unhappy and such a ghost of myself, which were your words many, many years ago. And now I just want to enjoy it. And I came back, thankfully to show that my life is different now, and certainly not all kisses and roses or diamonds and rose, whatever we want to call it. But it's different. And I think that I just want to have fun with it this season.
The third part of the reunion, which is the big finale they're holding everything for, is on right before your show or after your show drops?
I believe after.
So it's you and then the reunion. Wow.
I believe so. I believe so.
You're going to bet ratings blockbuster. That's going to be awesome.
Okay. I guess it'd be better if the reunion was first.
Yeah. Either way, it's a big night. I mean, either way, I think people will tune in early and watch your show, and then kind of the reunion will be the dessert. So I think they're playing it smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, okay. Well, hopefully by the next time, everything will be working.
You look great in those headphones, though.
Shush it, Richard.
Bye.
Adios.
The Raw Show with Rick and Taylor.